The next unit we're going to move into are what are known as arrays. Arrays are an effective, organized approach to store a fixed size amount of data at the same type. So, for example, where arrays become more beneficial than having a bunch of separate variables would be, for example, if we wanted to compare three numbers together, we could pretty simply do it by having three different variables saying if one's greater than the other, do this, do that. But suppose we had, let's say, 1,000 numbers. You really do not want to create 1,000 numbers. So what you want to do is you just want to have an array store those 1,000 integers. Remember, they have to be of the same type. So the array would store all 1,000 and then do the comparisons by running through a for loop. So an array is an effective way to store lots of information of the same type in an effective way. Arrays are very similar to string manipulation in that they use the index numbers to do the comparisons. So I'm going to show you here, we're going to go over to NetBeans, I'm going to show you this way. To set up an array, we do this real simply the same way that we would declare a variable. So I'm going to use integers. I'm going to use integer, I'm going to call it integer show demo. Now, this is how we normally would declare an integer. To declare an array, I'm going to go in between. I'm going to use the brackets. We're bringing in the brackets now, and those are usually located right above your enter key. If we're used to using braces, which are above the keys, but this time we're going to use the bracket. Right now, this array is not defined. For arrays, the way we're going to set them up, we need to know how much storage space is going to be used. So it's just like declaring a new instance of a class, except we're now using variable type. So integer brackets show demo equals new integer and then how many spots we want to hold. So in this case, I'm just going to hold 5 spots. And these 5 spots are going to have index numbers of 0 through 4, which I'm going to demonstrate here real briefly. Two ways we could set up arrays. I'm going to show you if we know the information we want to work with, then we could set up an array a couple different ways. For example, do show demo of 0 equals, we'll make it equal 13, the number 13. Show demo of 1 equals 14. Show demo of 2 equals 15. I'm just going right up the line. Of 3 equals 16. And show demo of 4 equals 17. Notice how we started with that very first index number, again of 0, just like we did with strings. So once again, our highest index number has to be 1 less than the length. So if we were to then go and do a system.out.println, I'm going to do show demo of 2. I'm going to do the middle one. It's going to print the number 15. So that's one way to set up an array. Another way is to, at the beginning, and you'll see this one a lot more with strings, instead of doing this to set it up, another way we could do this is set up a brace on the other side and then start, I'm going to need to delete these two, start listing the values inside the array. and then another brace and then. So here we have an array of 2, 4, 6 length, so the highest number would be 5. It's still going to go in order here and print that show demo 2, it should be 79, which it is. That's the second way to set up an array. The third way is to let the user tell us what is going to be in that value. So I'm going to go ahead and set up the instance of a scanner. So go up here and do import java.util. There. Create a scanner. Scanner system.in. And then we're going to go back to the original way to set up an array, which will be int. Oh, this time I use double. Double the brackets. We'll do double number equal new number, and we're just gonna have us enter 5 doubles. And it's not new number, it's new double. There we go. Now, to let the user enter, we could go through and set up each one by the scanner, or we could also put this inside of a for loop, which we're going to do a lot of with arrays. So it's going to be for integer I equals 0. I is less than the name of the array dot length. Just like we did with the strings. The name of the string dot length, we're going to do it the name of the array dot length, and then I plus plus. And we do not need the braces after. So then we'll just ask the user, print line, enter a double number with decimal, because they probably don't know what a double is. And it's going to be number of I. So this I here is once again controlling which array spot we're entering information to. Equals keyboard dot next double. And then since we're entering 5, we'll just go ahead for right now and print out the third number entered, which would be at the second position. So real quickly, it's going to ask me to enter a number, 23.4, 36.5, 75.8, which will be what we eventually print since we're calling to the second index, which is the third number. 13.2 and 14.5. Ends up printing the third one, 75.8. So this is, again, just exactly like string manipulation, but instead of working with each individual character, we're now storing different amounts of data. And I'm going to show you next how to print out the entire array.